All right, we are live, and I'm going to be letting people in now. Thank you for everyone coming on and watching us from either Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We'll allow for a couple of minutes just for people to come in or start watching on their preferred platform, and we'll begin the show. Okay, welcome everyone. This is Bakersfield College's Student Life Homecoming event, PaintJam. So what we have today for you is an artist, Harvey Dunn, who will be speed painting several paintings for you throughout this session that we have with each other. Like I said, he's a speed painter, so he's going to do these quick. He's going to do them fast. And we're going to make sure that you guys can't hear me with that echo, but hey, but tech issues, right? We're going to make sure that you guys have a great show. We're going to make sure you guys are kept guessing because he's going to keep you guessing to the final shot. You don't know if the painting's going to be upside down, sideways, right side up, but he's going to be available for Q&A afterwards. So he's going to give a brief introduction, and we're going to jump right into his video of him painting his pictures, and it's up to you to try to guess out what he does before he finishes them. So without further ado, I present you Harvey Dunn.
Hey guys, I hope you're ready to see some painting because I got something real special in store for you. I'll be answering questions after the show. Benny, will you take it away, please?
Of course.
Get ready for Paint Jam. Hello, my name's Harvey, and on behalf of PaintJam, I'd like to thank you all for joining the event. I've got a killer performance in store for you, but first I'd like to tell you a little about my journey to becoming a speed painter. My life as an entertainer started back when I was a little boy. The intention was never really about putting on a show, it was about having more fun than anyone else could. That attitude would later lead to the beginning of PaintJam virtual performances, but I'll tell you more about that later. My passion for theater began in intermediate school. First I did tech theater, behind the scenes type work. Then my freshman through senior year, I was cast in every musical put on. Grease, Into the Woods, Alice in Wonderland, and The Wizard of Oz. I was a rock star, a prince, mad as a hatter and loose as a scarecrow. I danced down that yellow brick road until I lost my way. I felt defeated, like it was all over when I was handed my diploma. Every one of my teachers that caught my performance begged that I pursue acting, especially my theater director. But I came up with a million reasons not to try show business. I don't live in Hollywood. I don't have a degree. Would a degree in theater even get me anywhere? I sold myself short and cut myself down. After working retail for 2 years, I was hired on at a gasket manufacturing plant for water pipeline construction. There were a dozen 30-foot tall, 10-ton hydraulic presses cooking rubber at like 300 degrees. The warehouse was outside with the doors and windows open. No air conditioning. Working blue collar for 2 years outside in Houston heat was enough for me to question the longevity of my career. During the time I worked at the factory, my dad, Dan Dunn, had been diagnosed with cancer. The pioneer of speed painting had begun a successful career of steady gigs when his video of speed painting, Ray Charles, blew up on a still very new YouTube back in 2008. Still landing gigs, he started his chemo treatment, but was weaker. Cancer or not, he said the show must go on. It was only until he went into remission and recovered that he realized he could not continue forever. He began exploring the idea of training another painter to work with him and, eventually, take his place. I was hurt that I was not even considered as a candidate, so I began training with my dad every single day to show him I could do this. I had never painted before, but I had drawn and sculpted my whole life. Not to mention I've seen all my dad's work since PaintJam began. To prove myself, I attempted to paint his signature piece, Ray Charles. I'll admit, it was rough, but I captured a likeness. As rough as it was, Dad was still ecstatic with my Ray painting. He said, "You never get it right the first try, but that you've got the stuff." For the last 3 months of my employment at the factory, I stopped by Dad's studio after work to practice. I was exhausted, but I wanted this more than I wanted anything in a long time. I started to move faster. My brushes became an extension of myself. I wanted to tell you all this because life is not a straight path for anyone. If you ever feel like your yellow brick road is missing too, just remember that there's no such thing as time wasted if you learn something from it. You never know what you're capable of until you try. All right, let's not get too heavy. I'm gonna go back to paint jamming now. Hello again, viewers! So anyway, I practiced painting every day after work and discovered that with my new skill, my passion to perform could lead to a whole new career. After enough practice to get confident, I got my first speed painting contract and immediately gave my 2 weeks notice at the factory. It was a show for a local high school's band lock-in. I loved the electricity in that room. Those kids cheering and hollering at me lit me up with adrenaline. I had been in large cast productions, but to be the center of attention made me feel like a rock star. I couldn't stop smiling if I tried. After the show, I used the footage we recorded to make a promotional video to send out so I could get more bookings.
Let's paint jam.
All right.
With a tour scheduled, I painted for Comic-Cons like Houston Fandemic, Lexicon, and the Big Easy Con in New Orleans, where I met a lifelong hero of mine, Weird Al. I had heard he was going to be at Big Easy 2 weeks before I was scheduled to be there. So, I designed and practiced a new piece to perform really in hopes that he would see it. Weird Al Yankovic was sitting in his enclosed autograph booth when I walked in with a 48 by 60 inch painting of him. He exclaimed, "That's awesome!" And it confirmed to me I'm on the right path. I loved the Comic Cons because I'm a nerd at heart, and I got to paint nerdy things that I was passionate about. Next, I had registered for APCA, or the Association for the Promotion of Campus Activities. I was gaining steam and making a name for myself. The first time around, I secured 9 bookings for community colleges. The second time I participated in APCA, I barely got 3 bookings, most of which fell through. I got a little discouraged. Then we all got the news. COVID-19 was spreading rapidly worldwide, and live events were canceled for 2020, perhaps to return at an unknown date in 2021. It was looking like the end of PaintJam, for now at least. However, behind every adversity, there is an opportunity. Since I couldn't travel, I had to adapt. I played with the idea of live stream shows and tested it on Facebook. Dad and I called it PaintJamathon. We painted a cumulative of 28 paintings in 1 month, a new painting every day. It did not go well. On top of needing time to rehearse and set up the shoot, the production value of the videos were extremely lacking. There was one fixed camera angle right on us, so our backs were to the camera the whole time. Connection was going in and out, and there was audio loss. It didn't end up to be a total waste of time, because I did learn that literal live events were not the way to go. I found that pre-recorded performances with 3 camera angles that I switched between in real time produces a more engaging experience. And I had already been playing with special effects of my editing software to add a special surprise ending. Then I thought, how can I have even more fun with this? Behind the white curtain I paint in front of, I built a green screen, so that when I'm ready to reveal my paintings, the curtain's open and the wall behind it project video correlating with the painting subject. It was like a new magic trick. Now, before I even rehearse a new painting, I find the right music first and download video of my subject in action to better give me an idea of how the video will flow. What I'm doing is more than just speed painting now. It's kind of like a new form of art. See, painting is using color to create the illusion of life. Now I create the illusion of life and animate it digitally for a greater aesthetic. Because of the adversity COVID presented, I was forced to find a solution in quarantine. Here it is, a virtual performance, specially tailored to all of you. So, remember, any hardship can be overcome with the courage to face it. As Mark Twain once said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Now how about one more painting?
Ta-da!
So we hope everyone got to enjoy those three really speedy, great, and especially that last one, amazing paintings. So now what we have in store for you is just to ask any questions. I know I saw a Q&A question was submitted, but if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, send some questions to us. We're here for a little bit, so go ahead, ask anything you want.
Hello, Bakersfield. What do you got for me?
Just for those who might not have seen it, I know Sarah was asking, do you have set art options to speed paint, or do you mix it up and you randomize off the cuff sometimes? And Harvey stated he rehearses. This isn't just something he does. He rehearses. He paints at various angles to recognize the shapes of the key features. He always has a set piece, and he painted it at least a dozen times. So he has at least a dozen nights in his house somewhere.
And that's on Paint. I do rehearse on an iPad. It's a lot more green. I don't have to wash my brushes or put up new paper, not throwing things away. I'll just crank out maybe 5 or 6 right before I go on, make sure everything's locked into place. I know where everything's supposed to be.
And another question, again from Sarah, if he had a specific piece he's been working on the longest to get perfect. And Harvey replied, he has a few favorites, and some of mine. Darth Vader, Baby Yoda, Lady Liberty, and astronauts are among his most popular he gets to paint. We have one question in the chat. Will BC be keeping the piece you painted?
Yes, you will. I've already varnished the painting. I put a wire on the back so that you can hang it wherever you please. All I got to do is box it up and ship it to you.
So there you go, Francisco. We get to keep painting. And now we have a question from Facebook. Do you have a Halloween piece?
I love that. Yes. The first painting that I actually made a video of was the terrible, terrifying Pennywise the Dancing Clown from It. The movie had just come out, and I'm not really scared of clowns, but something was disturbing about that movie, and I really liked it. And yeah, I had a fun Pennywise piece where right at the handprint, I had a bunch of red paint on my hand. And I acted like, and threw a bunch of paint at it and got blood all over it, and it really added to the piece. You know, Pennywise peppered with blood was a closer likeness than a clean Pennywise.
Everyone's favorite clown, Pennywise. And we have a couple people on Facebook just saying, hey, what's up? We have someone saying, hey, buddy, Ty Brunner. I'm probably messing up the last name. Do you have any video game pieces? Again, another question from Facebook.
I do have some video game pieces. I'm a nerd. So I game. I think one of the first video game pieces I did was Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's kind of a cheat because the movie was coming out. I was like, oh man, I want to see if I can catch this wave. You know, people look for Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe they'll see my painting video. So I put that out there, and I put in all these 8-bit sound effects because you got to have classic Sonic. You know, the movie's for the new kids today, but I was thinking, Green Hill Zone, the classic music, and the little spring sound effects. Boing. I also did Legend of Zelda. I painted Link from Breath of the Wild for a recent community college that was promoting esports. They said, paint your favorite character from Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I was like, there's so many. How am I going to do that? But I had just played Breath of the Wild and have been playing many, many Zelda games throughout my whole life. So I got to go with my favorite character, man, Link, for the win.
Another question from Zoom. Jocelyn, I'm not sure if you said it already, but what age did you make your first official piece or your best piece?
I'm 24. My first official piece, now I practiced doing Ray Charles again and again and again until I could get it right and learn paint, because I had just drawn. Everything was, graphite. It was just black and white and gray, some shading, and to learn how the brushes moved, how much paint they could pick up, some techniques like dry brushing and stuff like that my dad could help me out with. Sorry, what was the question? I got sidetracked.
Question: what was your first official piece and your best piece? When did you make them?
First official piece was Pennywise. That was the first video I made and posted, and got some reaction. What? You're a speed painter now? I didn't know you could do this. Like, me neither. My best piece, I don't really know if that's up to me. I think that's up to whoever's watching it, and they see what they want to see, which is why I have so much variety. To me, maybe one of my best pieces. There's a couple of pieces that my dad has created that I have performed. I know you're thinking, oh, that's cheating, but they're not exactly the same. We have different methods of approach when we speed paint, when we rehearse even. So they're not the same paintings. But my best piece, I feel like, was Baby Yoda. It featured Baby Yoda reaching out with the Force, and the Mandalorian was standing over his crib, just over Baby Yoda's shoulder. It was very fun. Again, super nerdy. Had just started watching Mandalorian, and that little cooing baby child I was captivated by. I was like, I gotta paint that little thing. Look at the hairs on his head. He's adorable.
And we have some children in the chat saying hi to you. We have 8-year-old Gabby saying hi, 7-year-old Joseph saying hi. Great job painting. You're awesome.
Thank you, Gabby and Joseph. I really appreciate it.
And Francisco, how much have your paintings gone for? And he is interested in buying your artwork.
I'm working on that. My paintings have gone for as much as $300 a piece, and I do kind of go by size. I like to give a bigger portrait because it stands out a lot more. But yeah, why don't you message me on Facebook, or we've got a link in the description on the YouTube video. You can check out PaintJam.com, see some of the stuff I've painted. Maybe you didn't see your favorite piece tonight, but I'm sure we can whip something up for you.
And let me look at our other platforms. Facebook, how do you get your ideas for the funny twist at the end of your videos?
That's a trade secret. It's all up here. Yeah, I've seen videos of my dad speed painting, and he's had professional videographers do everything. And I'm kind of tech savvy, and I play with my computer a lot, and I'm using Premiere Pro and all this professional grade software. And you're never you don't know what you're capable of until you try. And what was the video that started the green screen? I think it was an astronaut painting. We painted the wall green, and I did an outtake pushing off of the wall and spinning around. And I made it look like when I hand printed the painting, I flew off spiraling into space. And that just had me laughing. I just thought it was so stupid. It was so funny. People like that comic relief at the end, even if it's something scary like Pennywise. Yeah, it's not enough just to paint a painting. You're not, after the painting itself. You want fun. We're trying to spread fun in the performance. So if it's not fun at the end, what are you really getting?
Now, how do I find you on Facebook?
My Facebook page is PaintJam starring Harvey Dunn, but my father also has a page just called PaintJam, if you're interested. Thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
So you mentioned video games. So you mentioned Sonic. which is probably one of the most well-known video game characters. Have you made any others that you would say are probably one of your greatest, one of your best video games? I know some people are mentioning Mario, Kirby, Star Fox. I guess you could say, well, how many video game characters have you painted?
So far, I'm afraid it's only been Sonic and Link. I would like to do more, but oh man, the video work can be very tedious, you know, working with a green screen, finding footage, getting everything to line up, and, you know, make sure that you don't fade into the green wall and get sucked into the effect. I really wait until someone asks for something, you know, like Link for that. In that instance, they said, we want a character. We don't care who it is. It could be Mario, it could be Kirby, and Mario and Kirby are fun, but I thought they were pretty basic, you know, flat characters, pretty linear. And for a painting, I wanted it to be a little more lifelike. And Link really resembles a real life human being, you know, structurally. So I thought that would stand out among, say, Super Mario or Kirby. But I'd be happy to paint one if you're willing to book us.
Perfect. And in the chat box, and I'll try to put this in the other chats, I put the Facebook link. I am throwing his YouTube on there as well. So if you want to support, like, follow, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, get notifications. Let's see. Facebook, can we still see an image? Can we still see an image of the final product of the BC painting? This looks like a new name, so it looks like he just logged on. Let me see. Let me bring up that video so we could see what the final product looked like.
Get ready.
Okay, so for those who missed it, we'll play the last couple seconds of the video so you can see exactly what was painted and how BC you could possibly get with our beautiful mascot.
Thanks, Benny. Oh, what do we got here?
Of course, it was a great painting. We had to show it twice.
Thanks. It'll be hanging on the campus wall soon, I hope.
Yep. And for those who just joined, someone already asked, we will be getting that painting for our campus. So hopefully, you know, our brand new campus center, maybe we might have a spot for it somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Start talking to some people, make something happen. Let's look for some more questions. Let's go back to Facebook.
Oh, Jocelyn Green.
Oh, yes.
Would you say that your dad was your complete inspiration when it comes to speed painting? He definitely was a huge inspiration. You know, I was young when he started, and, you know, just doodling and getting, you know, first place art things in 3rd and 4th grade, you know. So seeing him take art to a new level and make that his career, his livelihood. See, long before he was a speed painter, he was a caricaturist. He was an art director, and art has just driven his whole life. And I never really thought, for some reason, I never thought that I could, you know, use what I like to make a living. I thought I would have to settle and go into manual labor or do something that I really wasn't passionate about. I don't know what I was thinking. I was so silly. He has been a great inspiration, but I draw inspiration from any silly character. Like I say, I I was the Scarecrow, I was a Mad Hatter. So any stage time, any monologue that I've had to do just for theater class, even if it wasn't a production, any comical character I can pull that from that I see myself in, because I don't think any of us intend to be our parents, but I can't say I'm nothing like him. I've got his job. You know what I mean? Yes, he was a huge inspiration, but I like to watch movies and play games. And, if I relate with a character, maybe I put that in my show. Why not? It's my show.
Another question. So this one is very specific.
Okay.
One, have you painted? Oh, I guess I should switch them around. Are you aware of the game Among Us?
Among Us.
This is probably going to set up what your answer is going to be for the second question.
Is it? It's not Gods Among Us, is it? I browse the game marketplace from time to time. My platforms, though, I do have an Xbox and a Switch. So if it's a PlayStation game, I'm sorry, I don't have a PlayStation, and I'm not willing to switch platforms. Sorry, you want to buy me a PlayStation?
No, and I could get an idea of which students is asking this. I know it's like the current game the students are playing. Her second question was if you could just paint one of the crew members from Among Us. It's a very simple game. I think once you see it, you might have seen a meme or picture of it. But I think she was just asking right now, have you painted someone from Among Us?
I have not. I'm not familiar with Among Us. I need to Google that and see what those characters are. It sounds like they're pretty cool if you want a painting done.
Right, and also shared your social media in our Facebook post so people could see that. And if anyone has any more questions on any of our social media platforms, just trying to juggle all of them to make sure I don't miss anyone on anywhere. Zoom people, feel free to use the Q&A. Facebook, if you have any comments, please put them in the comment box. Oh, we do have one. How much laundry detergent do you go through?
Oh man, are you kidding me? No, I don't wash this stuff. This doesn't come out, my friend. I paint them black. I paint them black and I keep on painting until they're so crusty. Oh, that's a question for my wife. No, I would destroy our washing machine and dryer if I did that. But I do catch a lot of flack for getting paint in the tub. So sorry, honey. I make a mess at my job.
Yep. And someone in the Q&A said that's a question for your wife.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. I think
that's so funny. Laura Dunn is my wife. That's the question.
I think if no one has any other questions, I'm not seeing any on all of my thousands of screens. I think I will leave it up to Harvey. I mean, unless you have any last closing statement you want to give us, I think all of us really enjoyed what you had put on for us. Obviously, you had some buyers in the chat and people asking to see your piece. So I think you impressed all of us, and I know a lot more people are going to catch your videos later on their own time. So any closing remarks you want to tell us, leave us, promote before we end tonight?
I just want to thank you, Bakersfield College, and Benny, and everyone else that's been involved. That through this together, you've done such an excellent job orchestrating all of this and getting kids to tune in, and they can tune in later at their leisure. You guys have been awesome. It really has been a pleasure. I'm glad that I can keep working. There's a lot of people that can't say that right now. They're out of work, and they've had to go on an unemployment or search for a job that's below their pay grade, and I am blessed, and it is all thanks to you guys. So thank you. thank you very much once again.
Perfect. And with that, we'd like to thank everyone for watching, whether you're in Zoom, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. And if you're watching this at a later time, our past selves are thanking you in the future. So with that, we'd like to end tonight. We're going to close the stream and close the room. And we hope everyone has a great night. And we like to remind tomorrow we do have a drive-in movie on campus in the free parking lot. So if you haven't bought a ticket, please buy it online, bakersfieldcollege.com at Student Life. And we'll be showing, as the students say, the classic movie Shrek. So please come. Movie starts at 8. Open the gates at 7:30. Free parking lots. And let's try to have one of our only, if not only, in-person event of the semester. Let's try to see each other and enjoy our presents before we're back in our houses again. Have a good night.
That's right, everybody. Get out and smell the roses.